Discussion, Facts, Storytelling and Understanding by Nishia Ito. Made with Notebook LM. Please note, this is an imaginary scenario used to discuss the concepts of time travel and alternate timelines. The events are fictional and explore the idea that a person's timeline can be altered by their own choices and by the intervention of versions of themselves from the future. The original personal timeline in this context is a fluid concept.
In this explainer, we are going to dive into a thought experiment that's going to challenge pretty much everything you think you know about time travel, cause and effect, and, the whole idea of who you really are. All right, so let's set the scene. Just imagine you're going about your day, everything's normal, and then suddenly a visitor appears. But this isn't just any visitor. They look exactly like you, and they've got some pretty urgent news about your future. So let's meet our main character. We'll call him O1. For him, it's 2019. Life is chugging along just fine. Little does he know, his definition of normal is about to get completely shattered. Then, bam, out of nowhere, he's face to face with an older, kind of world-weary version of himself. And this guy makes a totally impossible claim. He says he's from 6 years in the future, from the year 2025. This future self, let's call him O2, doesn't just look a little different. He's carrying a heavy warning. See, in his timeline, his love life was a total disaster. And honestly, he looks like he's been through the ringer because of it. And here's where it gets really trippy. 02 knows exactly what he's doing. He basically says, look, the very fact that I'm here telling you this, well, that might be the one thing that changes the future. He's aware his warning could erase his own timeline. So before 01 can even begin to process what's happening, the impossible happens. Again, the situation goes from just strange to completely, utterly bizarre. A third version of himself, 03, just walks into the room. Now get this, he's also from 2025, but he's the total opposite of 02. He's happy, he's confident, successful in love, the whole package. So now you've got one guy in one room staring at two completely opposite futures. And this, right here, is the central mystery of the whole thing. How is this even possible? How can 02 and 03 both be telling the truth about what happens to them in the year 2025? So, how do we solve this thing? Well, lucky for us, the successful version, 03, he's got the answer. And it all comes down to a really cool idea. Not all timelines are created equal. First, you've got what's called the straight timeline. Think of this as the default path, the original future. It's the reality that our sad sack 02 comes from, where no time travel happened, and things just didn't work out for him. But a major event can create a branch timeline. It's like a new reality that splits off from that original one. This allows for a completely different set of outcomes, and it's the world that our successful 03 gets to call home. So what was the big event that created the branch? This is the absolute key right here. The very act of 02 traveling back in time, that was the catalyst. His journey to warn 01 is what literally created the possibility of a different future. And that new future is the one that gave us 03. Okay, so we have a how. We understand the mechanics. But that how opens up an even bigger, more philosophical, and frankly, mind-bending question. Who is the real one? No, really, think about it. With all three of them standing in the same room, who gets to claim they're the original? Is it 01, living in the present? Is it 02 from that first failed timeline? Or is it 03 from the shiny new successful one? Who's the real deal? The answer is, well, a paradox in itself. The truth is, they all have an original timeline. And at the same time, none of them do. This just completely turns our whole idea of a single, real you on its head. How on earth can that be true? It's because in this model, time travel doesn't work by replacing things, it works by multiplying things. So instead of one timeline getting erased and overwritten, the act of time travel has just created a whole new situation. We now have three separate coexisting personal timelines, all in play at the same time. So each version is now the main character of their own equally real story. You've got 02. He's from the original straight timeline. Then there's 03. He's the direct result of that branch. And our original guy, 01, well, he now gets to live a brand new third timeline, one that's been forever changed by this whole encounter. So the biggest thing to take away from this whole thought experiment is really a shift in how we think about this stuff. In this model, the past isn't rewritten. Instead, new futures are just written into existence. Reality doesn't get replaced, it just expands. So that leaves us with one final, pretty personal question to chew on. If your timeline branched right this second, creating another you that makes a different choice, which one of you is the real you? Is it the you listening to this right now, or the other you, out there living a life you can't even imagine? The paradox isn't just about them. It's about us.